net before taxes. Everyone got a number?
Susie can't get in. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, give me just one.
Pause. That's good.
Probably between I'm working, all my files are disasters. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's that time of year.
It's that time of year. Exactly.
It slows down and all of a sudden it's like, it's all the investor stuff.
Yeah. That's good.
How compared to other years, how is your file?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Volume, I was doing like, I think I did like 300 to 400 a year. And that's like 170 this year so far.
She's trying to get on Google Meet. Why was she wanting to do that?
Because there was a Google Meet link. It was super confusing. I saw that as well.
Okay, so she might be.
But you can't do Google Meet and Zoom at the same time. So she has to do this.
How long have you been in CC for?
Just a dedicated, like just doing these work 7 years.
Low down on files.
Yeah, volume's not there.
Well, you gotta go grab it. These markets, you gotta take it.
My
My
lender,
third
Yeah.
business planning class, I'm working on that.
with the lender I work with, he's like been ridiculously down to for him. My big on this.
Thank God I have a significant other.
Yes.
That's funny. We good?
Yeah, I had put everything in this.
Okay.
No.
We'll move forward. Does
Yeah.
everyone have a number? How much do you want to make it 2024? Is that a good number for you? Feel good about that number?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you. Well, I lost my. Why do you want to achieve that? Why did you put that number?
Writing that down.
Yeah, you're gonna write that down. Why do you want to achieve that? What are you hoping to accomplish with that money? Then I want to say, how would you feel if you actually made it that amount of money? How would you feel?
It's like I did 2 years ago.
Like a
It's
ball.
like last time I felt 2 years ago. Please. I was smarter than ever. I would say
Like a baller.
like a baller. I like that, like a baller. Okay. And then you see the last question. What makes you motivated to work for this? What kind of big why here? What's the thing that makes you want to achieve that kind of money? Obviously, when you're doing that kind of money, it's usually paying to something to your personal life, lifestyle, something you're trying to achieve, maybe pay off debt, financial freedom, some money in the bank, invest in property, whatever you want. But what puts you there?
She's trying to get on and she said on Zoom and it's waiting for her, unless Amanda sent me the wrong. So there's other people trying to get on too, you know. What this?
All these FaceTimers.
I know, I'm just.
One person.
And this and that.
It ranges from not be homeless to invest in properties. My
Sure.
residence.
You invest in property. Okay, good. So what I want is a why. What I want to try to these last 2 questions. I want you to feel something and think of it and feel very emotionally moved by it, because you need something that's really going to, because the market in 2024 is probably going to be similar to 2023. And there's going to be times it's going to knock you down, kick you a few times, and drag you through the mud. And you're going to have to get up and keep going. And the only way to do this is just keep reading this and say, yeah, that gets my emotion back up. So I want to say, So make sure that whatever's motivating you on this backside, that it works at a high level for you emotionally, that you're emotionally attached to it. It makes you want to cry. It makes you cry tears of joy. It makes you want to move things forward.
Maybe that one is good.
We're good. Right. Good. Anyone want to share anything?
But what I said, what you missed is mine ranges from not being homeless to buy investment properties.
That's a range.
I mean, yeah.
That's a good range. Oh, I like that range.
My like bottom is like pay my bills.
So, and that's what I want you to know. Sometimes the motivation is negative. Sometimes it's like fear based, right? And so a lot of us will run from fear, and that's okay. Your initial things can be. Let go. Let go.
Right.
Hello?
You're good.
All right. So it's okay if your goal is fearful, like I want to get away from something, that's okay too, because fear is a powerful motivator. Oh wow. Hello, Susie? Did you chat the dog in there? Welcome, Susie. You should be seeing a doc in your chat here soon. Okay. So did you write down something in your motivation that really moves you? That really moves you? That if you read it, you'd almost want to cry every time. That's the power you need if you want to live achievable. Or it could really, when you read it, causes joy, causes fear, makes you scared. Those are all things that can motivate you, right? So. Good. Okay. Any ahas on that?
Any ahas?
Ahas? No? Feeling good about your motivation?
Yeah.
Feeling good about your motivation? All right. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Oops. Oh. I want you, that should be on there too. How would it make you feel if you didn't make your goal? Who would you disappoint? Who would you disappoint?
The government.
And I want you to know that too, like the more you can create accountability around your goals. So what I do is I always take my goals and I go tell my wife, and that's why she laughs at me sometimes, because I tell her and she's like, "Are you really gonna do that?" And I say, "Yes." And then we get to 50%. I'm like, "I'm sorry." But it's good, and then she understands, but it's just trying to keep that accountability with them. And then you really want to come and talk to your kids. Then they're like, "Daddy, why aren't you doing that?" That's right. Okay. All right, you ready? Next we're talking about the economic model. If you turn the page, then we're gonna start on your goals. At the top, you see an example, right? So this is an example of an economic model. What we're gonna do is we're gonna backdoor reverse engineer your money goal into transactions, all the way to appointments. How many appointments do you need to get this done? And then we'll go to lead generation goal. We'll take your appointments all the way to contacts. And then we're going to go to, maybe we need to revise your goal. Maybe we need to change things up. So, okay. So you put your net income, you should have said in the first page how much you wanted to make, right? That should go at the top line there. You see under the example, you're going to put the number that you want to net that you said you want to make, all right? Write that number in. Right now, this is going to be we're going to ballpark this a little bit. We're going to talk about operating expenses. So most of you know, and I'm talking not personal, I'm talking business. So most of you know what you're outlaying for your business monthly. That's gonna be MLS dues, office charges, gas, right? You know, driving around, those sort of things. So if you want to put a ballpark estimate, and this will be what you do a month, and then times that by 12, so that we can get a picture of, hey, I'm paying for this, it cost me this much a year. Or if you've done your taxes recently, you'll know how much expenses you've had. right? So I want to put an annual expense number you think that you're costing you every month, and factor your SAR-dues and all those other things you need to factor in, right?
Do you know, like, just out of curiosity, what the average solo agent, like, operating expenses are? Is there an average?
Yeah. because I'm not
I
gonna
haven't
get
seen
on-
the average. It highly depends on how the agent operates, how they lead gen. So, but yeah, if they're marketing some or paying for leads, it dramatically changes things,
Right.
right? So, but your average agent solo just working referral, I've seen them with gas and other stuff, probably about $1,500 a month, maybe on average $2,000 a month if you added gas and mileage and sorry and
Okay.
other stuff and take people to lunch or whatever. So that I find it's about $1,500 a month. So what I want you to do is make sure that that number is a conservative number so that you can build it in. So how much does it cost? And this is not month, this is an annual, so you gotta take that monthly number times it by 12, okay? The next line below that is cost of sale. So cost of sale are costs that you incur because you do a transaction at the time you close a transaction. So these are expenses you wouldn't normally incur. You only have to get these expenses because they occur at the time of close of the deal. So what are those examples?
Full marketing,
No, but marketing happens, you pay it any time.
staging,
As you know, you could do a listing, do marketing and staging and not close the listing, right?
broker fees.
Yeah, so broker fee, so you're split, so your
Oh.
20% split would be cost of sale, because you only pay that when you close. TC fees, you only pay a TC when you close the deal, right? So your cost of sale, so you're automatically, as a kid agent, you're gonna have your 20%, which is capped at 50. You're gonna have your royalty, which is capped at 3, and then you're gonna have like TC transaction fees, right? So I think based on your numbers, somewhere around 18 to 20,000 if you're planning on capping.
Okay.
If you're planning on capping, you're probably gonna have a cost of sale around $18,000 to $20,000.
Referral fees, would that go under there?
What's that?
Referral fees?
That you have to pay out?
Yeah.
Yeah, cost of sale would be referral fee. So I closed this deal because I got an agent referral from San Francisco and I'm paying 25% out, right? So it would be there too. Yeah. So if you do a lot of referrals, that would be in there too, right? So everyone got a number, but most people, you can kind of forego referrals or just if you want to, but you can just put usually 18 to 20 will cover that, assuming capping, right? So, okay. Now I want you to take your net income. You're gonna have to bust out your phone a little bit here or do math in your head. You're gonna take your net income minus your plus your annual operating expenses plus your cost of sale, and you're gonna have a total GCI needed. So add all three of those numbers together. And you should have a total GCI needed. Everyone got that number? Okay. Now, we need to take that GCI number and we're gonna divide it by the average commission amount of your business. Now, if you don't know it and not tracking it, that's okay. Our average in our market center right now is about 11,500 on average gross commission. So you want to factor that in, you're gonna need 11,500 if that's what you want to use, or if you want to use yours and you know yours is a little lower or higher, that's fine. But what you want is an average commission, and then you're going to take your total GCI and divide it by the average commission amount, and it should get you a number. That's going to be like 17.85. That means you need 18 transactions to close, something like that. Susie, you okay in there? Okay. Is that about right? You got it? So what's your number?
14.09.
14. Okay.
I need to do 380.
Nice. Okay. I like that. That sounds all right. You said I want to get back to that. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. It won't matter for you so much because there's both sell unless you charge it.
No, I did that.
Okay. So now now you total units sold, you got your 14. Now you need to figure out how many are going to be listings and how many are going to be buy sides. You're going to put a percentage in. Most newer agents are very heavy buyer side. So usually you'll see 70% buyer, 30% listing, or even more than that. Experienced agents, you start trending the other way. You may get to 60-40, 50-50. Mega agents tend to be more listing heavy. They'll be like 60% listing, 40% buyers, right? So Lindsay, I would say you're probably gonna be like 70, 30, 70 or something like that,
I've
right?
always had listings.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then if you wanna do it that way, 50-50, 60-40, however you wanna work it, but put a percentage number on that top line on the seller side and on the buyer side, so.
I just did 50-50 to make.
Okay. So you're gonna take your total average number of units, times it by that percentage, and you'll get total homes sold, total buyers sold. So in your case, it would be 7-7.
Yep.
7 listings, 7 buyers. Now, this is where it gets conversion rates. Now, you're gonna have to learn in your business over time, you wanna start tracking your conversion rates. It will really help you know where you are in business, and it'll help you know where you wanna improve on your skills. Okay, so. How many listings do you sign that you actually close?
Me and my career, 100%.
Okay,
I've never signed one that I have.
well, I can tell you right
No,
now.
no, I'm sorry, one I have not closed. I apologize, one. Yes.
So there's gonna be some background. I can tell you this market, you're gonna have a lot of people who list who don't close.
Yeah.
Because they're expecting too much.
Yeah.
They don't get buyers, and you see it, the time on market goes up, we're seeing a lot more cancellation withdrawals
See
from
the
market.
couple-
Yeah,
the past couple weeks.
yeah, so we're seeing a lot, I can see it in the brokerage, we're seeing a lot of these just listings canceled, right? So. I want you to put a number in there that you think is comfortable to say, if I sign it, I close it. Now, in this market, you're gonna have to be very good on getting your seller to price it appropriately. If they do not price it appropriately, and you just think you're gonna whittle them down on price over time, you're gonna have, you may sell it, but you're gonna have to go back to them on price reduction, price reduction, price reduction. It's gonna be a very negative experience, right? So I recommend you get very good on pricing properties, pricing them at or below comps to get them to move, right? So so whatever percentage you want to put in there, I can tell you, my team, we were in the 90% range. We moved into 2023 second half, and we actually slowed down to low like 83% down because we had stuff, right? So just put a number in there. High level is going to be somewhere in the 90s, 90 to 95. Lower, you're probably hitting somewhere in the 80s, maybe 75%, depending on the market. So put your percentage in there on the listing side. So now you know you need 7, and what you're going to do is you're going to divide. Yes.
No, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, my throat.
So you're going to take your total homes you need sold, 7 in your case, and divide it by the percentage. Sorry. Math teacher. All right,
Why is this not 7.7? That's not right.
you need 7, right?
Yeah.
And you divide it by.
990.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's right. So 7.7, because it's saying you
Okay.
need 8 listings,
Oh, okay.
right? So that is right.
Yes.
So you need 8 listings
Yeah.
to get 7 to close.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, how many listing appointments do you go on? Or you actually get the listing? So put some percentage there.
Okay.
I've seen it as high in the 90s, all the way down to, I've even seen it 50, 60, depending on how aggressive you are on setting those appointments with the listings, right? How early you set that, right? So. And I can tell you, my team is very aggressive. So if they want to sell next year, we're already trying to meet with them. And so we often don't get something signed, but we're trying to do that face-to-face contact with them. So our percentage on my team covers around 70% ratio there. But if you have your whatever percentage you want, appointments to agreements, put that number in and then divide it again. So divide your 8 divided by your percentage, and you'll get your total seller appointments needed. What's that? 88. That's it. What's your percentage here?
90.
Okay, so take 8,
Yep.
divide by 0.9.
8.8.
8 so you'll need 9. So let's example, you're gonna need 9 appointments. You're gonna cover 8 of them. You're gonna sell 7 of them. That make sense?
Yes.
And so you need to get 8 seller appointments.
Okay.
Now let's go to the buy side, same thing. Percent buyers, you said 50, so that's 7 for you. 7 total buyers sold. Now, how many do you put in buyers you put in contract actually close? Now, the buy side generally has lower conversion rates because they fall out more and buyers cancel because they don't like dispatches and yada yada yada, right? Or the interest rate goes up, I'm out of the market, right? So
Divorce halfway through.
yeah, exactly. Divorce that way
Right,
through.
no, for sure.
So, what's your percentage of buyers in contract that actually close? And I can tell you on my team, it's about 75%. So when we actually get them in contract, how often they close? Ours is about 3 out of 4 close, right? Just because they're harder, like loan goes sideways, they go sideways, especially go sideways, right? All right. So what you want to do is take your total buyers sold that you need, divide it by that percentage. So divide it. So if you have 7 buyers sold, you want to divide it by, if it's 75%, 0.75, right? You get a number, and that's the number of buyers you need to get to agree to work with you and sign. Well, I recommend you sign a buyer agreement. Good number. 9.3. So you need 9 to 10. I like to bump it up to 10. Let's do 10 buyer reps needed. And let me talk about buyer representation agreements. I know most of us don't do it. I am going to start advising, and my team does now. We have all our buyers sign the buyer rep agreement. I recommend you start doing it. There's national lawsuits, class action about this issue. There are settlements being happened. And basically there may be a time in the future where buyers will have to start paying you a commission to help them buy a home. And if you're going to do that, it's going to be much like a listing presentation. When you do your listing presentation, pay the commission. So if that case happens, you better be in practice of doing good buyer consulting, getting people to sign buyer rep agreements, because then that's essentially what you're going to have to do to get them to work with you. So
Are we gonna have trainings about how to have those conversations with buyers?
we'll do. I'll get a training because my team does it. So I'll have Rich train on about how every one of our buyers signs a buyer rep agreement that works with our team. Right. So. And we have a whole presentation. More than that, from the time we set the appointment to the time we actually do the presentation, there's constant communication with them with the goal of providing value and make sure that it's kind of our. Okay, you got your buyer, you need your buyer reps, you got that? Okay, next, how many appointments do you have to go on to actually get a buyer to actually work with you? So that includes like loan approval, like I meet with them and they actually become a real buyer. So in this market, that's a little bit tougher. And I can tell you on my team, it's hovering around 63% on our team. So at the time you meet with them, do they actually get approved, move forward, and become a buyer? Then ours is about 63%. You can use your ratio if you think it's better. If you have your ratio, then what you need is take your buyer reps number and divide it by that percentage. Give you a bigger number, probably.
Yeah, mine's 16.6,
16,
because I upped my buyer rep needed to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need to go on 16 appointments to get, that's not bad. 16 buyer appointments to get 10 buyers actually approved and working with you to close to get 9 to 8 in contract and to close 7, right?
Yeah.
Cool. We're good? So you good? Okay. Everyone good? Okay. So now we know how many appointments you need on each side to get your. So that's good. Now we're going to go to the lead generation model. So this is where it gets real. Okay, so it's good to talk about appointments. Oh, that sounds easy. 16 appointments. Wow. So you're going to put your total number. So add your seller and your buyer appointments together and add them all together. So if you have 9 and 16, I think.
Yeah.
So 25 appointments total. And this is where you're going to want to talk to you is what's your average number of contacts needed to make an appointment? It depends how you lead generate it. If you're primarily referral based, that means you work off your database. I've seen it right now be 30 to 1, 40 to 1 right now. If you're doing open house or warmer leads, that's 1 out of 50. If you're doing cold calling, it's 1 out of 80. 1 out of 100. So you just need to know where you're getting your leads from, where your primary source is. I think a safe number we've seen, and this is through club and my team, is probably about 1 out of 50 results in on average. That's what's happening to my team. We do 100 contacts a week on my team. We're setting about our agents are setting about 2 appointments a week with that. So if you put 50 is your average, then you're going to put, you're going to take your total number of points needed, times it by that number, and you're going to have the total contacts needed in 2024. Not bad. Looking pretty good, right? Okay. Okay. Now we're going to back it down into weeks. So we're going to say, okay, you got your annual number, what you need to call next year. And you're going to divide it by, now there's 52 weeks in the year, but you're going to take some time off. So I want you to take some time off. So back it down. I'm not going to do Christmas between Christmas and New Year. So maybe there's 2 weeks there, and we got Thanksgiving, there's 3 weeks. And we'll take spring break, or we'll take summer vacation.
48.
What? 48? Is that good? 4 weeks? Yeah, okay, 48. So what you want to do is take your annual and divide it by 48, and that will get how many contacts you need to do per week. That work? Seems low.
26.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you divide that per day. So how many days are you going to work a week? 5. I'm going to lead gen 5 days a week. 26 divided by 5, and that's how many you have to do per day. So literally, you will achieve your goal likely if you actually talk to 5 to 6 people a day and actually have a real estate conversation.
Yes.
How's that? Sounds super simple, right?
Yeah.
Literally, your goal when you said I got to range from homelessness to investing in property. What do I need to do? And I want to show you, and usually the number comes out kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's a super simple number. The hard part is consistency. Super simple.
I think it's also making people answer. Like I made 125 calls yesterday, but I only spoke to 8 people out of 100.
Yeah, and then you see the effort, right? I made 125 calls. I got 8. You exceeded your daily goal by 2, but you did not much more, right? So you see the effort. It's going to take me 80 to 100 contacts to get to 5 to 6 deals.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to hoof it at an open house, door knock it, and do things. And now I got 20 contacts, right? So you want to think about ways you can, and to think about the closer you get to face-to-face contacts, your database, the lower that ratio goes. So you can sort of cheat the system and say, I know 150 is the average, but I'm going to do 1 out of 30 because I'm going to do a lot of face-to-face stuff. So you can cheat it that way too. So, and make more money. That means less contacts, more points. Okay. Now that you've seen that, do you want to revise your goal? Do you want to go up?
I want to double it.
If you want to double it, then you'd have to do 12 contacts.
Right, which is not that bad. So I had my net income at 100,000.
Okay.
Because it was a good number.
Yeah, it's a good number, yeah.
6 figures, but that's my mid. Like I would love to do more. And like looking at these numbers, I think that that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and so that's what I want you to do is just, what's this number is the most important number, right? Or these two are the most important numbers.
Yeah.
What are you willing to work and do, right? And then you'll realize if you commit to that number, eventually you're going to get to a point where you're running out of phone numbers, and then you got to work really hard at getting them. So when I did day-to-day real estate, I really focused on that number, and then I realized I had to produce leads to get there. So I would like double up on open houses on the weekend so that I had 30 people, and then I could call those 30 over the next week. So I had my contacts, right? Like I could get enough contacts. I was calling enough people, calling my ABC list and doing that. So you want to make sure you're adding lead gen that adds more leads in so you can get that contact per day. Because if you're but you can't cold call. If you cold call, you're going to have to do that like 80 to 100 contacts, to get your 5 to 6 contacts.
Yeah.
So either way. So if you want to revise a goal, I recommend you revise it now. You have the numbers in front of you. You can always change them based on your contact. Any questions about this?
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
I've
it.
been wanting to do this. This is really cool.
Okay, so this is how you get a hold of your business, right? All right, now this is the fun part. Okay. Now we're going, if you turn the page, we're going to get to the GPS plan. So you have your goal and you put your name up top. So we have your plan here. Literally, I want you to be able to take this and pin it on your wall and look at it every month. So your name up top, your one goal is, and your one goal should be that monetary goal that you put at the beginning of this whole session, right? So I want 100,000, I want 338 transactions or whatever, you know, TCP, whatever I want to do that. So, okay. Everyone got that? Okay, now we're gonna take one priority, and I'm gonna, this is called a 135 GPS. There's one goal, 3 priorities, 5 strategies to achieve that priority. Now, don't be obligated to fill all 5. I just want you to know that you don't even need 2 priorities. You don't need them all the time. I just put 3 in there. That's what people want. But if you think you can achieve your goal with 1 to 2 strategies to achieve that, we're good with that. So the simpler, the better. You don't have to fill it in just to fill it in to create more work. What you want to do is think about what are the main actions I need to do to achieve that goal. So if you're a real estate agent, I recommend you do listings first. So you got a listing goal of 7 closes. So I would say my priority 1 is close 7 listings. Okay. Yours could be, I want listing management. I don't know, you charge for listing. So you're gonna be thinking like, I want to create this much income from charging agents for listing management, right? That could be something I want to build in my business, right? So you can do that as well. So I'm going to build listing management. I'm going to include sign orders, photo orders, and putting an MLS. Okay, I'll charge $175 for that, something like that, right? That could be a way you could do it. I'm going to do that. Well, I have to make a plan. I have to start marketing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 7 listings. What's strategy number 1? Where do your listings come from? Primarily, right now. You said I am listing heavy. So where do your listings come from?
Referrals, people I know.
People you know. Okay. So I suspect that's where most of our teams come from people like that. So I would recommend your number 1 thing is your sphere of influence. So your SOI should be your number 1 for 99% of agents, your number 1 source of listings. So what are you going to do with your SOI?
Love on them.
Okay, I recommend you call them and love them. I recommend you do that in a systematic way. So if you do an SOI, I recommend you do a 36 touch program. Call them quarterly, invite them to events. We're gonna have events you can invite them to, right? And text, have the system text and email so you're getting stuff done regularly. You can talk to Vince, or it's gonna set up. You can set that up for you, and it will put you on a plan that will 36 touch it for you before you come in. And you can go in and change the text and emails if you want to what you want to market, and it will automatically market for you. Right. And then it will even put the tasks for you to call. So it'll tell you, it'll drop in there how many people you need to call each week. So, so you can literally stay on top of your people. So I recommend, so when we think about this, is I know there's SOI, and what you want to do is say, what system model do I need to have to make that produce at a high level? Okay. Now, do you think you can get to all the appointments you need just from talking to your sphere?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. So what else do we want to do?
I bought my logo.
Oh, you bought my logo. Okay.
I did. I used it before. I've had success with it. So, and it's keeping me on top of everything.
Okay.
Because I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of money. So,
It is.
so I finished 6 months of it.
Okay.
And I've had it for a week and a half, and I've already gotten a couple really good reviews.
Okay.
So it's me sticking with it and actually doing what I need to do.
Okay. So are they listing leads or private?
I've had 50/50 actually.
Okay. So what you want to do is put my logo down. And you want to, how would you maximize your my logo investment?
Speed the lead.
Speed the lead,
Actually putting them on drip campaigns.
drip
actually-
campaigns,
Yeah, actually following up.
following up.
So you can get the emails and have the AI do it, but I need to call them myself. As soon as I get one, I call.
Okay, so you need speed to lead.
Yeah.
You need to be able, so you're gonna have some freedom of your time.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to be tethered to the phone a little bit more, right? Pretty consistent. Okay, so those are habits you need.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do? You're gonna need a drip campaign
Yep.
that's actually is compelling,
Yep, yep.
okay? And you need to make sure that I prefer to automate that, and at least come in, it automatically triggers, right? So, okay, good. And then what else?
I don't know.
You probably should practice on scripts.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
because these are by essence social media internet leads.
Yeah.
Right? So speed to lead matters, but also I did a lot of internet leads, a lot of other stuff, and I can tell you, you got like 7 seconds to like
Get 'em.
give a compelling reason to stay on the phone with you. And it can't just be like, oh, do you like the song? It doesn't really work that way, right? So,
Do we
so
do any,
What?
your script, do we do any script practice or?
we do script tests down there. It's actually online. So,
Okay.
so we do it by Zoom. So I'll get on schedule. So.
Okay.
But we do script practice for internet lead generation because where most people struggle is I
Yeah.
talk to someone and add value in 7 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other strategies you want to do for listings?
I mean, just normal farming.
No farming, do you
yeah.
farm now?
Yeah, so I have reevaluate, which
Okay.
is, I don't.
Yeah, I don't
know what
know.
that is. Yeah, so I've been calling those leads as well. I haven't gotten anything yet, but I'm just gonna keep doing it. I generally get a new reevaluate lead or two every day.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've been going in my system, but yeah, I haven't had any success really. So maybe it is practicing scripts.
I would recommend, I'm not even talking, but I recommend Dormo.
Okay, I've done it before. It makes me so anxious, but okay, you're right, I should.
Because if they are actually coming up then I would go on, because they're more likely. And the good part is you're not knocking the whole neighborhood, you're just knocking that one door, right?
Yeah.
So a habit I had was like, this was expired, is I would go in the morning, knock the door, because, just in my neighborhood, so. I
Yeah.
get 2 doors, I'll just knock 2 doors, right?
What's your opinion of Vortex?
Vortex is fine.
Okay, so I was thinking of adding that to it.
I'm gonna say this. If you're gonna. You want a dialer. What I say is, don't overdo it.
Okay.
I would say, if you got. Honestly, if you did wide local, you did your sphere. You did reevaluate, and you did open houses on your listings. And did them well, like actually door knocked or dropped flyers and actually did them well, and you probably get enough listings, just off that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, don't complicate things, don't spend more money, you're already spending money on my local. Don't need to do it more than that, right?
Okay.
So. We good?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about buyers, how are we gonna send buyers?
Same.
Or more than buyers, same, okay, so we got. Sphere, we got Y local, and
Door knocking. Oh, well, renter, well, actually focusing on different type, like renters, like focusing on. You can door knock renters.
you
right?
can, but you don't wanna go. I'm barely getting you to door knock reback.
No, I'm gonna do it. I need money.
Honestly, I think if you, on the buyer side, your reevaluate wouldn't be there, because that's primarily focused on listings. On listings, so, but what you would do is your open houses, would be big, right, like,
Yes.
if you door knock your open houses, you're gonna have high success. And honestly, on our team, we're doing neighbor open houses, so we list on Thursday evening.
Yep.
Every week, so we list on Thursday. We do a flyer, door knock, flyer drop in the neighborhood. Usually Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Okay.
And we do a neighbors only open house. It's not even online yet, so we don't even put it online. It'll literally go online at the end of the neighbors open house.
What day do you do the neighbors open house on the Thursday?
On Thursday.
Okay, so you.
So literally, it'll be like the neighbors open house 5:30 to 7. The listing will go live at 7 o'clock. Because you create FOMO, because people are like, I can't find this, it's not on the market, it's not online, and so they're more likely to come to see you, right? So, and we even had agents call us where the neighbor walks in, we're like, hey, talking to them. They walk out, we had a call from their agent saying, hey, I just talked to my client. They came by the neighbor's open house. I can't see this on Metro List. What's up? Right? We're like, well, it's off market still.
Right.
Or
So
what
what's
about,
that?
this is an idea, and I'm sure it's been done, but I don't hear people talk about it, it's when the garage sale. In your neighborhood, because
That's good.
people are like clearing out their stuff, one, they may already have an agent, but that might be. It's not gonna be on the market yet, and you
Yeah.
might know that they're selling
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
think of, and I'll talk a little bit about that too. As well, put it in here, so. Okay, so. I think you can get all the buyers you need from Wailopo, Sphere, open houses, door knocking, revalue.
Yes.
And actually, if you actually do those things, I think you'll exceed your goal. I'll be honest. Okay, we're good on buyers and sellers? Sellers, buyers. Okay, the last one, and this is the most important one, because most people struggle with this. Is you need what I call part of it is your leverage, your growth, your habits, systems, the things you need to make these things happen. So, for example, we were talking about scripting, right? So, like, I need to get better at scripts with internet or social media leads, speed lead. What do I say? So, One thing is like, I need to get better script, attend script class regularly, right? Does that make sense? One script a week, class a week, or something like that, so that I get good at scripting, right? So that would be an example of growth or habits that I need to make happen, right? So maybe you want to read a book about someone who's done internet leads at a high level to achieve goals, right? So there's things that you can read as well. Maybe you want to read MREA again, or One Thing again, or if you really want to invest, maybe you should read MREI Investor, right? So that you can start getting that mindset. Once you read that book, you're gonna get that mindset like, I need to think about investing. I need to think about investing. Get your mind focused. So want to think about growth, habits, systems, leverage. And when I say leverage, it doesn't have to be like an employee. It could be like, I need a really solid lender partner. And if I have a really solid lender partner, maybe they'll help me call my reevaluate leads. And my wife will love leads. And maybe I get better speed to lead if they call too. Right? Right? So think about your leverage, even if you're an individual agent. Trust me, your lender is just as desperate as you are. So if not more, right? So think about how they can help. They have time, they're going to willing to work if they're hungry too. But think about growth, think about things you want to attend. I want to go to family reunion in Las Vegas. That's gonna be a lot of fun, right? We can roll down to Las Vegas. So I'd love to do family reunion, mega camp, bold, right? Things you want to attend that will help you get in the right motivation mindset. I find I need like once a quarter, I need to go to a bold or a mega camp or something to like feel like energized again. Yeah, let's go conquer the world, right? So I need that motivation, inspiration in me. So think about your inspiration, think about your habits. And I want you to think about habits. What habits do you need? And this can be personal. So like one of the things I focus on a lot is I do a lot of teaching. I'm all over the place. I'm meeting with a lot of people. When I meet with them, I'm giving energy to people, right? So at the end of the day, so I have to work on one of my habits I do, and this is a business habit, is I need to exercise every morning. I need to eat correctly. Otherwise, at my age of 47, I can't perform at a high level all through the day, right? So think about, I want to be speed to lead. I want to turn around things quickly. I'm going to turn around a good conversation at 4 p.m. at the same time I'm going to do at 9 a.m., right? So if you want to think about those things, some of your systems leverage maybe habits. I need to get here. My health needs to get here. My energy needs to get here. So I want you to think of strategies that you want to put in there that will help you achieve your goals. These are things you need to learn. So listing management, I need to learn how to market better, right? I need to learn how I need to market, how TCs get more transactions or convince agents to work with, right? More than word of mouth. How do I get in front of them, right? So those are going to be things that you want to think about. You got your list?
Yeah.
All right. Everyone feeling good? All right. Now turn the page. Now we're getting real. Now let's get real. Okay, your accountability plan. You need to review this every week, because if you go a month, you'll forget. So
Yes.
what I want you to do, and typically I do these on Sundays, you don't have to, but you need to pick a day and you need to review it. That means literally you need to say, like, I'm going to look at the plan. And I said I was going to do 6 contacts a day, 5 days a week. So I was going to do 30 contacts this week. Did I do 30 contacts? Right? Did I have speed to lead on my logo? Did I sign up for family reunion? Right? That's what you need to look at, those things, so that you're always moving forward with intention, right? So I recommend take out your phone right now and put a recurring appointment. You know, you can set it up and it recurs till the end of 2024. So have it stop at December 31st, 2024. And what you want to say is recurring appointment. You pick the day. Only gonna take like 30 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, doesn't take long. When you're gonna pause and you're gonna look at your business so that you can course correct and be intentional. Hit that recurring button. Put it on calendar, put a notification on there, like 10 minutes to 30 minutes, so that it dings you. And I know it's gonna be a habit you're gonna have to learn, and it's hard, but you're gonna have to like ding and okay, let me sit down with this. I like to put it in the morning because my kids are still asleep on Saturday. I mean on Sunday. So I'm not disturbed. My wife likes to sleep in, I'm more like that. So I like to do it because no one's around and I can just grab it and just do it, right? So, all right. Now, this is probably the more important part. Is who will hold you accountable in doing this plan? Accountability partner, coach, spouse, kids, club. So we have club to help you hold accountable. I highly recommend you have someone help you. And I can tell you this, I always seek out counterparts. I have an accountability runner. So we run on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. We run because part of the reason there's days I don't want to get up. I have to get up at like 5:30 to get out there. Right? So I don't like, oh, I didn't sleep enough last night. I don't want to do this. Right. But when you have an accountability partner, you show up and you do things more than you would. So I recommend you find an accountability partner. Find someone who has the same goals as you or is trying to achieve the same thing you are, right? Not necessarily goals wise, but in the same mantra. Find someone who holds you accountable. If you have a coach, you should talk to your coach. You should give your coach. Say, coach, I want to do 30 contacts a week. Can you help me with that? Right? Can you hold me accountable to that? I'll talk to your spouse, and I'll put the whole plan to your spouse and say, spouse, I know you're going to be like, you're going to be glassy-eyed on this, but just hear me out. Here's my plan for next year. Here's how much money I want to make. This is what I'm going to do to make those things, and this is how I'm going to close. And I need you to hold me accountable. If I come home on the week and I need you to ask me on Friday, put a reminder in your calendar on Friday evening. You need it, husband. Can you tell me? Ask me, did I do my 30 contacts this week? Right? Like literally get them to ask you, right? And then you will start having more accountability. And if you're going to say, no, I only got to 10, after a while, your husband will be like, honey, I keep asking you, and you don't get 30. What are you doing? I thought we are trying to get to $100,000, right? So you need to get that. Kids are great because they will hold you accountable innocently, right? You're like, did you have your open houses? So, and then club is good too. You want to go to club, online, super good. Mondays at 2, super easy. You just tell your goal, 30 contacts, boom, boom, boom. You come in, just keep showing up. It'll help you because you have other agents there saying this, and then they'll help on scripting because they say like, what are you saying to get these contacts and things like that. So you may have club may be very good for you because it's going to help with scripting. It's going to help with accountability at the same time, right? So some of those things here we have that you should be thinking about, and you should strongly think about more than even you're doing your appointment. This is going to help you keep online more than anything else. Having a accountability coach, your family on board, club on board. Those are things that are going to make you motivated to do the work. Everyone got what they're going to do, who they're going to talk to? You thinking about this? Okay, good. Because I want you to think, talk to your people, talk to your spouse, talk to your coach, join club, do what you need to do. And you can join club too, because you can say, I'm going to get this many, I'm going to talk to this many agents. I want to do these kind of things to help you generate business. And also, if you get on club, you start talking about how you're doing this, you're going to get more agent business because they'll be like, I really like how you do business, right? And I want some of that. Right? Yeah, and people like to be in business with people who are successful, right? And so if you can show I'm consistent with my work that shows success, and those people want to be in business. All right, anybody on accountability? Good. All right. Growth. Now you need to think about growth, and you can take some time on this, but and this kind of falls under accountability in some of what we talked in part 3. But I want you to think about the year, and I want you to think about making sure you're always trying to grow throughout the year. So, for example, when I do a growth plan, February I put family reunion because I always go to family reunion. So part of my growth plan in February is family reunion. August, September is mega camp, right? My team, we have a goal on my team of doing 2 bowls a year. So generally, I'll do a spring bowl and then we do a winter bowl. Right? So I'll put bowl on certain times of the year. Then I'll put books on there, books I want to read. And sometimes I don't know the book I want to read, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna read a book, right? And I get to that month and I'm really feeling this internet thing. I'm gonna read this book by internet because someone suggested about it. So does that make sense? So you need to get a plan. It's hard to write right now, so I want you to. This will be kind of homework for you for the end of the year, but you need to start thinking about probably reading a book once a year, once a month. You should get to that level where you're running. That's why in club we read a book once a month. But you should get in the habit of reading a book once a month for growth. You should think about trainings. Maybe you think about building a team, you need career vision, right? There's other trainings you may need that you want to help you grow your business, right? So, and maybe you think about events I want to grow my business. Maybe it's just networking, right? So, yeah.
I'm sponsored that big agent panel.
Yeah, so maybe agent panel, yeah, so think about sponsoring and networking, right, and like,
I think
Yeah.
works well.
yeah. So I want you to think about growth, and I also want to think about what vacations or retreats do you need? Because that's just important as unplugging is just important sometimes, like we talked about the 4 weeks you're not working. Great, what months are those happening? I want you to intentionally plan those and plan those as growth. Plan those as, I'm not gonna take all these phone calls. I'm not gonna work. How do I set up a business where I don't need to respond to these things? Yeah, right, and how can I be engaged and really check out and get rejuvenated, right? So, also I want you to think about what relationships do you need? That's really important if you want to grow your business. Like, who should I be in relationship with? And be intentional about that. Who should I, and you want to talk to influencers, you want to talk to people that have great influence, access to a lot of people that you are interested in talking to, or great agents. I really like how you do business, John. Can we, you want to get in a relationship with those things so that you can think about who's doing business like I want to do at a high level. How do I get in a relationship? Right. And then you want to pursue that relationship. Those are things that will greatly help your world too and grow you as well. Because if you're around them talking to them, they'll start making you think differently about how you do business. All right. All right. We good with that?
Yeah.
All right. So what do I need to do in Q4 2023? So the good part is it's only October.
Yeah.
So you have like 2.5 months to raring to go. So the good part is what do I need to do right now to make sure everything I want to do in 2024 is ready to go Jan 1. Yeah, so you have to be super consistent now, because as we get into the holidays, a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to sell, but after the holidays.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're going to have a good January, you're probably going to have to put some in the bank right now. Right. It makes sense. Like Q3, I need to put some back in there. You need to say, I need to have a habit of I lead generate daily to make sure I get to 6 contacts. Right.
Yep.
So, I need to show up to club every day. One of your things should be, I'm going to finish my growth plan and I'm going to honor my growth plan. Right. So those are things you need to do. Makes sense. What else you need? So there's going to be systems, models that you need to do implement. I need to build a listing management to make more money. I need to be able to market. Am I going to email market? Am I going to network with agents? Am I going to social media post, right, with agents and try to get business? So how am I going to do these things? Are there tools I need? Are there systems I need to build? Or maybe there's a sales products I need to build, right? That can get out to clients, right? And get out to people. So. Any questions? Okay. So I do want to hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I left the book in my.
I went out on my own 2 years ago and was a ghost. I didn't market myself at all.
Yeah, and it was just all referral based, which is fine at the moment.
And then in the chat GPT class, we did the feature post. I did a feature post and I got 3 agents that were like, oh, I didn't know you went out on your own, because they could work with me again.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I've been here.
So you were a silent TC.
I'm gonna be.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Gonna help.
Some of the stuff Some of the stuff I'm doing on business bonus. So I'm reading a book right now called 10x is easier than 2x.
Sounds about right.
And I recommend it's a good read.
Okay.
A little theoretical, but the basic concept is most of us look at our growth and we say, I want to double my business. Right? I'm like, I want to double. I'm doing 140, I want to get to 300, right? And that's good. And most of the time, though, is when you think about that, it's more of you doing more work. Right. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this and do that, right? Which is true. And you could work more and get to double. Definitely happens, right? And what they say is it's actually harder to do that because most of your answers are, I'm going to grind it harder.
Right. Well, my business, I work 10 times more efficiently when I have 30 or 40 transactions to do one. Only giving me 10, I'm like.
Yeah, you're losing, your time's all over the place, right? Exactly, exactly. It's all scattered because you don't have that much business,
Yeah.
right? So what this is, 10x is easier than 2x, because what happens is, say you want to do $100,000, right?
Yeah.
But what if I told you, and this is real, next year you need to make $1 million in real estate?
I would love to.
Okay. But what would you have to do? Let's do this exercise. So you have your white label plan and all that.
Yeah.
So, so if you need to make $1 million next year in real estate, what would you have to do on your plan right now? What would you have to do? Because we're going from 100, going from homeless to $1 million millionaire.
I would probably focus on higher end areas.
Okay, so I would say I'm only focusing on big listings and higher end areas, right? So, okay, so I need to be all over White Lobo. Yeah, I probably need to farm, but if I'm doing $1 million in income, I probably need help farming. I need to get my spouse out there, and they need a flyer job because I won't have time. You know, like, I need help, right? And you're probably going to say, like, I need to get very good at listing presentations, and I got to make sure there are 45 minutes, and I get them to sign because I need to do a lot of them, right? I need to get very good at these listing appointments, and I need to convert them at a 90% rate, even when I'm going after a whole bunch of different stuff, and I need to be able to do them quickly because I got to go to the next one.
Right.
Right? Makes sense. So what happens when you 10x something like that is it blows away. What it does is it takes away all the, it's really based on the Pareto principle, so 80-20. So you see it in real estate, right? 20% agents do 80% of the business. And actually it's about 10% almost do about 80% of this. Actually, so this right now. So what you see is, same thing in your world is you're sticking on to the 80%. That means you're holding on to, I fulfill all the work and I still do that 20%. 20% is the stuff that makes you money. So literally in your world, or in your world, the 20% of stuff that makes you money is what? That actually makes you money.
Closing deals.
Closing deals.
Yeah.
So a deal closes. How do you get the deal closed? Appointment. Right? Sign listing. So I'm going to sign listing, sign my agreement, and I get them in contract and they close.
Yeah.
So appointments, contracts, close. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know, because I did this a lot. When I put someone in contract, I only test people 2 more times. Inspections and that walk through final close. 3 if I was bad. If it was bad. Why? And I outsourced everything. I TC'd it. I had someone open the door for a listing for my inspections, and I would just arrive at the end. Right. So think about those things. Think about, what if we talk about all your time? What if all your time was spent only on those things? You only did contacts. You only talked to people who want to come to you. You only did appointments. You only did something during escrow and you closed. And what if you didn't even do that? What if you just those two? What if you just did contacts and appointments? Your whole day, 8 hours, contacts appointments. What if you did that? Would you get $2 million? Then you can design that business.
But what if we enjoy doing the rest of it? We're never going to make $1 million, I guess. Because like, so here's
You're gonna hang on to the. That's the thing is, you're gonna hang on to. There's things I like. I love coaching. I was a PC, but I was like, I'm not gonna PC my way to being a multi-millionaire.
right.
I'm not going to. Now I make good money. I made 6 figures on it on PC, but I'm not going to PC my way to $1 million. So I had to go somewhere, right? And I got to a point where, like, I was making really good money on my real estate team, but I was like, I'll be damned if I'm doing another open house. I'll be damned if a whiny seller doesn't call me on Sunday pissed off about something, right? Screw that, right? So it's like, so how do I get there? So that's what I want to think is, if you think 10x, it becomes crystal clear on what you exactly do. So let's take the TC work. Does actually fulfilling the TC work make you money? No, it's only if it closes. Only if it closes, right? So what is the number one thing you can do to make sure you make the money you want to make? What's the number one thing you do?
Make sure it closes? I can't do
No.
anything about that.
You can't do anything about that. The agent controls that, right?
Yeah.
So you can't control that. So what's the number one thing you control to make sure you have enough money to make that happen, or 10x that money? If you're going to do, you did 140, you're going to do 1,000 transactions TC next year.
Make sure that I'm just working with agents that produce.
Excellent. So the number one thing you could do, what if you did 8 hours a day of nothing but talking and meeting with agents that produce every day? Would you get the business? And then could you not find people, if you had that much business, could you not find people and pay people to do TC work and just make sure that you had quality control to make sure they did a good
I mean,
job?
that was definitely the goal when I left, is to get to a point where I just had a VA or like a family friend doing like the minute, like checking, you know, signature boxes or whatever it is. It definitely could help.
Right. So what if you said, I'm gonna 10x next year? So I'm going to spend the winter because it's slower. And I'm only doing 10 transactions. So I have a bunch of time and I'm scattered. So why don't I unscatter it and say, I'm gonna work on my 10 in the morning, and then I'm only gonna call or visit or go to network events with agents. That's all I'm gonna do for the next 6 hours that day. Do you think your 2024 would be different if you did that just through the third quarter?
Absolutely.
Right. So
Sometimes I go to events and I don't say a word to anyone, and I leave, I'm like, oh, business.
maybe need some living power. That's oh, you're pretty talkative when you were at the Rivercast, so.
I mean, much better than those settings. Networking things,
And that's what I say, play your strike. If network is not your thing and one-on-one's better, then
Yes.
then set up one-on-one situations, right? So get referrals, talk to your agent, say, hey, who else should I be talking to that wants that should have my TC service? They'd be like, oh yeah, he was complaining about the TC service over here. Can you refer me? Put me in a group text, right? You know, so you can work it that way. You can literally phone call your way in there. You know, you literally have MetroList access. You can literally see who's the top of the service. Literally, you can tell right now who the top is.
Agents that have just don't even know what a transaction coordinator is. There's still a small, and there's an agent in this office, she's old school, and she's like, I've never worked with one. And like within 20 minutes, she's like, oh, I'll never not use one.
Exactly. Well, they know once they do it. Yeah. Okay. So check the agent list.
What the lead company?
Why Lopo? Why, like a letter Y. L-O-P-O. Why Lopo? It's a company that does internet, social media, pay-per-click lead generation, and drives it, funnels it through a website that they create for you to generate leads.
Yeah, they have a really good AI that talks to like a virtual assistant, and then it works with follow-up boss, and it actually now it's not there. Command. It actually, I love the word command.
It does.
It'll see the
Yeah.
content.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I wish I had known, but I didn't do that.
My team uses command, we're fully in command. Why? Because I don't have to pay them for it. That's like cold, because trying to make more money, but I don't have to pay for crap.
This is the time of year to shed all the.
It said, oh yeah, so shed all these things, right? So think about it. If I was gonna 10x and I'm gonna make the money I wanna make, I have to 10x the money. I'm gonna have to get super cheap on my stuff, right? Because I'm gonna have to afford a VA, probably a couple VAs, right?
This business will nickel.
Exactly. So how do I not get nickel dime? How do I keep it tight? How do I get a ton of business in all the time? Well, I need to talk. I should stop at number one and go down from there, right? I should talk. And if you said old ages, and I should take everyone without a one in front of their license number, pull the licensee list, and then literally anyone who doesn't have a one, you should be calling them because, you know, and grabbed in my production, and literally you should like calling the ones that are still producing. Call them, yeah.
And like maybe like put together like a couple slide like education thing on like what a TC is and why it's called that.
Another book I'm loving. It's 100 Million Leads.
Ooh, hardbound.
Hardback. Great book. Alex Ramosi, he was worth about 134 million at age 34. So, and he did it through social media. And he would partner with fitness gyms. And when they would launch, he would do the marketing for them to get the clients in. He was so successful at gyms were giving him part ownership and residuals
Wow,
on everyone who could because he was so good at making gyms just launch quick.
that's awesome.
And he wrote a book on how to do it exactly. It's literally like a textbook. Like a textbook. It's like a kid's textbook.
It's not something we should get on our own.
No,
Actually,
no, you need to physically look at it. Yeah, it's actually pretty cheap, but it's pretty good. He gives away the secret. It's like what my Lobo's doing, what they're doing for you, is what he says. They're just doing it for you.
Right.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah, that makes sense.
and as my team goes, like you said, you get nickel dime to this. And what's happening is while Zillow and them still work, it is a waning thing. More people are doing social media to find that information, and a lot of these are happening. So as it trends that way, you get that way. Problem is, being highly effective at social media is a very sophisticated thing. So, and so, if you always rely on other people to do that for you, you're always going to be at a disadvantage, because while local can charge more, and if you like the leads, it is what it is. Does it make sense? And so I'm reading this book and we're implementing it, Alex Rosie, so that we can generate the leads without we call those lead aggregators. White Local is a lead aggregator.
Yeah.
So how do I not pay a lead aggregator and get these leads?
I would like to figure that out as well. I
Yeah.
mean, I would like to not have Local forever. I was just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so a lot of agents are like that, but if you constantly scale your business, you're always gonna feel a little nickel to dime, because
Yeah.
you're putting so much money out to get there, right? And I found on average, it's about a third to half your commission ends up, if you're using the lead aggregator, it's about a third to half your commission goes away to the lead aggregator. And that's why there's so many people calling and say, I got leads, because they know how to make it. Now, after that, this is how you do it yourself.
Okay.
It is difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna help you, actually. So my team is doing this. He set something called lead magnets, which are valuable free information that you give to people, and they consume it for free, and they love you for it because you gave them great information or great product and service for free. And for that, they give you their contact information, and they feel a little loyalty. They'll follow you, right? This makes sense. So, for example, the first lead map I made, what is the number one issue that buyers face right now? The number one problem?
Getting a loan, being able to afford a house.
For the house. Really what it is affordability, right? Like the interest, they may say it's interest rate, but really it means that that payment's too high.
Yeah.
I can't afford that payment, right? So what's the number one thing you could do if you could solve a problem to get a buyer off the fence? Make that payment lower.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Working with lenders that have programs.
Right, so there are loan programs, 2-1 buy downs, 3-1 buy downs. So there are loan programs. And so there are ways you can buy homes that way. Did you know that new home builders are buying down rates because they're buying them down to about 5.5, 5.75? So what if you just started putting new homes in front of people and say, I can get you this home for 5.5%?
It's just understanding their needs.
Right.
Mhm.
And I talk about assuming loans,
Yep.
using credits to buy down the rates,
Yeah.
Other things like that, so that I'm producing a document, and it's literally, I tested it, headlined and everything. We
Oh,
tested on social media, and it's gonna say, this is what people like, and it's gonna say how to get your mortgage rate lower, how to get your payment where you want.
Seller financing.
Seller financing, yeah, I put seller financing there. And literally, I'm putting a new home directory together, everybody. I'm setting a page on my website just for seller financing. Go, and these are the homes that are offering seller financing. These are the homes that are offering assumable loans. It's a natural list.
So do you guys are talking about keywords?
I think there's a tab in it.
There's a tab in there. There's a little thing that says type of financing. You can say seller financing. And also I do that. I go confident agent remarks, seller financing, public agent remarks, seller financing, right? Because if they say seller financing in any of those, it's gonna show up. So I just pull that search. Here's a property, and I put that on the website, say, have those searched, and then it just keeps populating the search.
Look at that. That's brilliant.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Now, do you think you would get leads if you said, hey, one way you could get cheaper financing is doing seller financing? Would you get people that maybe can't qualify that wants that program, right? So you're gonna get buyers that can't think they qualify anyways. That's something you got them interested, right?
Yep.
Right? And if you got them in a house, how much of a referral do you think they're gonna get?
Yeah.
Right? Does it make sense? So what it does is it says these are, and the stupid part is we know the industry better. Why local? All Why Local is doing is saying, look at these pretty houses. Like Why Local is just doing houses because of
Yeah.
but you know the industry.
Yeah.
You can get super surgical.
Yep.
Right? You can go a lot. So anyways, my team is doing that. We're making the affordability document. I'm gonna put it on our team. I'm gonna run it for 30 days. I'm gonna show you our results. I'm saying, this is what we did. This is how we did it. And I'll say, here's the doc. Do it yourself. And if you don't want to do it yourself, talk to Gavin Caleb. They'll do it for you. So I'm gonna do those lead magnets. They're gonna come out for you so that you can do it. And even if you don't want to do it, these documents would be great for you to talk, for you to go to agents. You should take that document and say, agents, by the way, my brokerage just gave me this and this is awesome. And here, I think it'll help you in your business, right? And then you look good because you're giving them ways to be more productive, right? And then you just take it, my local leads are not talking to you.
Right,
Maybe you reevaluate, hey, instead of saying, hey, you want to sell your home, say, hey. I know you may be thinking about selling, but you're probably scared of giving them the rate, go this one, how about I cut your rate to 500?
right.
Instead of going.
It's
What if
just
you did
everything-
open houses with that instead of saying, you want, here's a way to cut your rate, do you want that? You want that?
That's awesome.
Right, does it make sense? So
Yeah,
coming for value and contribution with free information is gonna be, so we'll see that rolling out, that's happening this, so. Because a lot of agents will have a hard time executing this, so we're gonna try to execute it at our level. Give you the results and best practices and say, execute it at your
But
level.
that's not
And honestly, if you just do it with your database and your current lead gen, you don't
yeah,
even have to do the internet side, the most of the side, you can literally just take it and do it with your people and you will have results too, right? So that's one, I'm reading this one, 1 million followers in 1 month. You don't have to do, that's a lot of work, but you know, if you got there in a year, that'd be good, so. Well, and this is the kind you're talking. This is a millionaire real estate agent, it's literally all the different types of lead gen to do in 1 pagers. We're implementing some of these on YouTube and stuff like that, right? That is a lot, so think about those books for yourself.
Thanks for the good vibes. I just got a new agent. I don't know.
It happens. I appreciate both of you being here, thank you, Susie, I appreciate, oh, look, there's Susie and Susie.
yeah.
So I appreciate you guys, if you have any questions, if you have my phone number, go ahead and reach out to me. Happy to help, so, thank
I
you,
know you're a busy man. I appreciate the time.
no problem, I love this class. Put those 2024 things you need to do in your, like, schedule those tasks.
I said, just put on an alarm
Yeah,
Yeah,
for 10 a.m.
and your first one needs to go like, whatever you wrote down for, I need to do this in 2023.
Yeah.
To do it in 2024, you need to do those first, right?
yeah.
Work on that,
absolutely.
work on that, work on that.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
More money for you, more money for you, and more money for you, Susie. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good 2024.
Now, here's the trick. If you can load up on 2024, you're gonna have a lot of people, you're gonna talk to a lot of people. No matter what script you use, no matter what document you throw, and say, we'll make your cheap loan. They're not gonna feel good about buying or selling until the market's. When the new home builders are seeing, when they drop the rates, when they get the loan to about 5 1/4, 5 3/4, 5 1/2, the buyers are buying.
Yeah.
So that's the
number.
that's the number, that's the
Okay.
number,
Okay.
okay? So, yeah, so because that's it, you're gonna see it explode.
Yeah, yeah,
What you wanna use 2024 is. When it explodes, the people who do the generation through 2024 are going to explode with it.
right,
That's when you will go from literally like kind of agent to like mega agent, right? You go from mega agent to having a full team, right? You know, that's how you go, or you go from my level, we're like level 14 to level 17, right?
Yeah.
So those market shifts is when things happen. If you can get your people, get your ABC list going, get your follow list going, make it big,
Yep.
because suddenly rates hit 5 3/4%, those C's are gonna turn to A's, like
Boom.
75% of them are gonna go to A's, you'd be like, ah! You're like, I need help, look at help me, right? You're like calling people like, help me, I need help, so. And just know that's what you wanna do is build, and then all those agents that are, you see are grinding, and they're still doing deals, if they're doing deals now, you know they're grinding on it, right? Get those agents, because those agents, when they turn, are gonna be big, and then you hope, and then you
I
own
love
it.
him right now. It's just waiting. He's only been in his house a year and he's gonna take a hit on it if he were to move now. And so my record just said, just sit. And as soon as.
Is it gonna take a hit?
Yeah, he lives in Martinez. I don't know if you know what happened in that area.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
chemical
Yeah.
stuff, so it's a kind of sketchy area now, so he's gonna.
It is.
Until, unless we drop under 6, then it'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, so you got your stuff, feel free to call me, happy to help you guys, so, thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Wait, so you're gonna do this class, that you're doing tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Next year?
I'm doing
Yes.
this
clarify.
class at Sac Metro tomorrow,
Okay, and then what about the millionaire playbook?
that's happening at the team meeting, we're not having a team meeting there, we're having this special team meeting there.
Right.
Cause I'm taking over ownership of that. Full,
Right.
I'm part of that, I'm taking over full ownership now, so.
And what's the date on that?